Okay, guys, so we're gonna jump right into it. I've had a very significant day. Top five goals haven't really changed. There's a couple things that I got done, a couple things I didn't get done, but nothing too serious. I'm working and making progress in a good way. The one thing that I really want to work on with the days coming forward is I've only been spending 2 hours of work. Like I've only been working for 2 hours, and as you can see on my list, it says 4 hour minimum. So I have not been doing that, and I do need to get that together and hold myself accountable for that. So that is something that I want to work on. For you guys to understand the rest of my board or whatever, we really need to get into my truth and prayers to Jesus Christ first this time, and then we'll go through and go up. So, worries of the day. I'm worried I'm going to mess everything you have planned up. I'm worried I'll never figure out what being myself truly is. I'm worried I'll never be a good mom. I'm worried my selfish decision to have her will cause her pain. I'm worried I'm not good enough to be her mom. I'm worried I'll mess her up and she will become like me. Now, like I've said, I do love myself. I wouldn't want to be anyone else. But I have gone through so many things in my life, and there's been so many periods of really hard times. And that is what I mean when I say I'm scared that she's going to become like me, because I am. I don't want her to have to go through what I went through to be this person. I want her to have a good life and be a good person, and it stresses me out. Now, when it comes to realizations of today, I've realized every time I try to leave, he does the same tactics. I've seen this for a while, but would always make excuses and ask him to allow more confusion. And I'll stop there and explain that. What I mean is, I would know exactly what was going on, and God would give me the discernment to understand. But then I would, instead of believing God and trusting in that and moving that way, I would go to Him and ask Him to confuse the situation because I wasn't ready to handle it. So I would pretty much be begging to be lied to. Please lie to me. Please take these feelings away from me so I don't have to deal with them, so I can just believe your lie. I've realized if I'm going to escape this, I have to want my new life more than his validation. And that is so, so powerful to me because I've really realized that I've been holding myself back. I've been keeping myself here. And regardless of what he's done or what he will do or this and that, if I don't want happiness in a new life more than I want to feel comforted by him, I will always be in this position. I will never progress. So my confessions of the day, this is a big one. This is bad. I had a really bad day today. God, I need healing. I am so full of rage with nowhere to put it. I lost my temper with my daughter today. And yes, she was wrong and put herself in danger, but she deserves a healed person's reaction to that. It feels like no matter how hard I try to be a good mom, my past keeps me shackled. I won't stop trying, Lord. I repent for disrespecting my daughter and being quick to anger. What I mean by that is, because let me explain. Um, I freaked out on my daughter today. She did something that was really irresponsible. She's 7, so how responsible can we get? But she did something and I flew off the handle. I yelled. I scared her because I was so loud. And of course, I apologized after, but I'm just so disappointed that it takes 2 seconds of letting yourself go with that and living in those emotions and that anger that you feel inside to erase all the work you've done. If you let the enemy shame you into hiding that and into acting as though you didn't do anything wrong, now that is unforgivable. Obviously not to the Lord, but in life. You need to take accountability for what you're doing to people. And that's something that I continue to make sure that I do. My daughter means the world to me, and she's a person. And I never want there to be moments where I am treating her any other way. I care about her. And did I sit there and come upstairs and pretend like that didn't happen and maybe offer to buy her something to eat? No, no. I sat with her and I profusely apologized because that is what she deserved. She never deserves to be screamed at. Nobody does. Nobody does. There is no excuse. There is no excuse as an adult not to be able to regulate your emotions, especially when you are dealing with a child. And so I could let myself live in shame or act like it didn't happen or act like it was justified or make it seem like it was okay. Or I can take it to the Lord and tell him, Lord, you're not done yet. Lord, I'm not done yet. And that's what I decided to do. Thanks to God. So when it comes down to the verses, we'll go to verses first, actually, because I did do. No, actually, I did my verses last. So we are actually going to go to my feelings first. So like I said, today I was feeling good at first. I started my day feeling okay. I started my day feeling like, okay, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm living in my purpose. I feel like I'm making God proud. And that's when you need to be ready. That's when you need to continue to make sure that you have them. When you feel like you're doing good, watch your back because you already know that that's what he wants. As soon as you are doing good, when you are a child of God and you are fighting and trying to live in your purpose, that's when the attacks come. So I prayed and I said, God, today has been okay for the most part, and I see the enemy trying to attack me. So I know I'm where I need to be, and I feel close to you, Lord. I feel like I'm doing the right thing for once. It's such a weight lifted off me. Jesus, please bring me understanding, patience, build me as a mom, give me the strength to stand in my power of communication. Allow me to always respect my daughter and see her for the wonderful girl she is at all times. Bless me with communication skills. Allow me to forever validate, uplift, and speak life into my child. Please, Lord, don't make me an obstacle for my daughter to overcome. Let me be the second win for her. Let me be on the front lines to protect and honor my child. In Jesus' name, amen. And so the main thing I'm asking for here is when I say, don't make me an obstacle in her life, there are so many moms and dads that are obstacles for their children, that are something that they need to overcome, that are something that you become the testimony, the thing they escaped from, and were still able to find God despite. I don't want to be that for my child. I want to be a good part of her testimony. I want my daughter to say, my mother was just so on fire for the Lord. It brought me closer to Jesus. I want that to be part of her testimony. I don't want it to be, my mother used to fly off the handle and I used to go in my room and beg God to change her. No, that's not how we're living. We can do better. We can do better as parents now. We can recognize that our kids are people. We can support them. We can let them live their own life, make their own mistakes, and guide them and just guide them. Because I feel like a lot of the reason why parents, including myself at some points in my life, the reason why parents mistreat their kids when they are not acting right is because of fear that someone else is going to judge your parenting. So instead of being a better parent or trying to become better and understand why your child is behaving that way, You begin to emotionally or physically abuse them to try to keep them in their place. And that's not okay. That is a person that you decided to have. That you said to yourself, I want to have a child. And whether you like it or not, that's your responsibility. Now, do you have to give your life up? No, and I don't recommend it because you're probably going to resent your child. But what you need to do is acknowledge that you made this choice. So you can be upset about it and change your circumstances, but what you can't do is take it out on those children. They're trying their best. They only been here for a little bit. You still messing up and you've been here for 30 years. Let's be serious. Song of the day is Spiritual Tony Rebirth. Oof. When I was making my transition into the Lord, when he was really starting to poke at me, Spiritual Tony was a really good like stepping stone to Christianity. Because I'll be real with you, I was definitely one of those people who hated God. I didn't hate God because I didn't believe in him, but I hated people who did. How dare you believe in this man when my life is horrible, when I've been through what I've been through? How dare you pray to this man when I couldn't, when he didn't answer me? How dare you think he'll help you? Why would he help you? Oh, ooh, I would get so mad when people would thank the Lord. I would get so mad when people would say, thank you, Jesus, for this and that. What are you thanking him for? Because if he would help you with this minute little thing, why didn't he save me? And that is how the enemy gets so many of us who are hurt, who are tired, and we don't want to hear, oh, just brings to God. Oh, God is just so good. You don't know it's this. We don't want to hear that. When you are in the depths, you don't want to hear that. When you are fighting for your life with the devil, you don't want to hear anything because what you're expecting is instant results. What you're expecting is that, okay, well, I don't really believe in God, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to call on him to help me right now. And because he didn't, I'm going to now put that on him for the rest of his life. I'm not going to put it on the devil. I'm going to put it on him because he didn't get me out. But I also wasn't fulfilling the one thing he asked, which was to believe. And then on top of that, I wasn't recognizing how he saved my mind, how he saved my spirit. Because even when I was in terrifying company, he was sitting right next to me. I couldn't have made it out of what I came from if he didn't place his hand on my shoulder during it. The pain that I've felt in my life is enough. It's enough for anybody. And I'm here. I'm here. And that's something to be grateful for. So I want to tell, Christians, I know that is so hard to see somebody hate the Lord or hate you for loving the Lord and you just want them to be saved and you just want them to know how amazing He is. Do not attack them. Do not engage with the talk of it. Don't do the arguments. And this is only for people that I'm saying, like, really, you just see this like demon arising out of you when you talk about God. Most of the time, More times than not, that person has been through hell. And you sitting there judging them is going to push them away further. Don't judge them. Pray for them. Ask God to reveal himself. Ask God to show up in their life. Ask God to make a move for them, make a way. Don't give them more reasons to hate him because your flesh is judging them. Walk with God and ask him, what do I say? Don't you ever speak to someone about the Lord who is a non-believer without checking in. Hey, is there a way I could plant a seed here? Is there something I could do? What is the perfect thing that I could say to save this person today? Don't go in there by yourself so that you can just be part of the devil's plan to keep them away from God. Don't do it. Ask the Lord. He gonna tell you. When it comes to my verses of the day, ooh, they were very, very in. So the first verse I get is, and Jesus went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. Matthew 9:35. Now for me, that was just God telling me he will help me. He hears me, he understands, and he heals all things. And for me, that was him saying, yeah, yeah, that happened. Yeah, you got a little anger going on, babe. You mad. Okay. But I got you. And so, and then to build off that, I get the next verse, and that's, and he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. And to me, it was God telling me that these things haven't happened yet because I don't believe they will. And that is so true. That is so true. I've tried to pray with anxiety and I don't think that he can get it away. And this is what I was saying yesterday when I said, I have a real issue believing that God can do all things. It's a problem. And I can't ask him, hey, can you just do something like really big so that I could just believe in it? Because that's not faith. And, ooh, what is the verse? Um, it's one of my favorite verses. Mm-mm, that's not it. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. Truly blessed, I'm pretty sure it is. Truly blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. Do you know I'm about to be in tears right now? I'm about to be in tears right now because I don't want him to do it. I want to believe. I want to have faith that he can do it and then he does. I don't want him to show me what he can do and then I believe. I want the blessing of believing without seeing it. I don't want to go to my father and say, prove yourself to me. No, not when he's done all that he has for me already. He's proved himself to me enough. It's my job to believe in him now. And so the last verse I got was, bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healed all thy diseases, who redeemed thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Psalms 103:25. And for me, this meant that I need to speak kind words, loving words to myself and my child to get to the mom that I want to be. I need to walk away from destruction. For me, God is telling me sticking with the plan He has set for me will answer my prayer. I can be redeemed. I can be a good mom. I will not fail my child. And I truly believe that that's what He's telling me. And the thing that I love about being able to do it this way is that I feel like I'm getting my answers right then, and I don't question it, especially with the random verses, because I feel like a lot of times when I open the book and do this, like, I question it. And I'm like, is this, like, this is easier for me, in the part that I am in my life. So today was a rough day, but God got me through it.